The following program is rated MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
The show that gives you everything and nothing at all. That's everywhere you don't want to be. It's Ruben, Mo B, and on the ones and twos, AG.
The 5-minute warning.
Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of the 5-Minute Warning. Once again, I am Ruben Brown. I'm the captain of the spaceship. Thank you for listening to us live and on the podcast. And, of course, make sure that you like and subscribe and rate us wherever you get your podcast. And if you listen to us live, give us that big thumbs up on Facebook and like us on Twitter as well. Well, that would be Twitch because we're now on Twitter. Hey, man, we're starting the episode off great. Of course, got my man, my mellow, Mo B in the house.
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. How was your week, bro?
I mean, it was a week. It started, it ended. I'm here.
Well, all right. I mean, just such a way to start this.
Coach K lost.
I'm not sad about that.
I mean, I'm not sad about it either. I just, I just think it's funny to say Coach K lost instead of saying Duke lost. But
I mean, but when it's all said and done, Coach K didn't really lose. It was Duke. When you can't hit free throws when the game's online, you get what you get, right?
Yeah, man, that's what I
mean. That was the difference. UNC hit their free throws, and Duke did not. I mean, I watched the dude 75% for the free throw line, choke on two. So, what more can you do? I know he probably won a national championship, but I feel like he's ultimately just relieved that the season is basically over.
I mean, I kind of disagree. I think he's probably really pissed that he lost to, of all schools, he started his career and ended his career with the same loss.
I mean, that's true. And, of course, we got our number one Duke fan in the house.
What's
AG,
up, y'all?
what's going on, bro?
Not a whole lot, man. I'm sorry, Blake. I just was into the South Carolina Connecticut game.
Yo, it's a lot of stuff going on today. You have that, and then you have WrestleMania going on as well. And then whatever else is on TV, because it's Sunday. It's Sunday night, so other than those two things, I don't really know what else is on TV. So yeah, man, how you feeling, bro? I mean, I know you not super oh my god, I need to send out the suicide unit for you.
No, actually, I'm still excited because ACC is still in this. I don't see them winning because Kansas is wow.
Kansas is a beast, yes.
Yes, but I'm pretty excited about North Carolina. I'm rooting for them.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Why?
I mean, because most Duke fans would be like, man, I hope Kansas whooped that ass.
I mean, I would be lying if I didn't say a little part of me, but basically, I mean, this has happened to me before. It's just like Duke loses and Carolina's still playing. I'm a Carolina fan until they lose. I mean, because at the end of the day, I'm still an ACC guy.
You're a rare breed, man.
Yeah, you are. You're special.
I can't believe that, man.
Nah, man.
You're special.
Most Duke fans or UNC fans would rather see the other university burn than to root for them.
Burn.
I would agree with that.
That's heavy, man. I mean, like I said, man, I don't have any ill will. Number one, I don't have any ill will towards North Carolina. I think they're a great program. They have been for decades. I still feel like I'm a ride for the ACC till I'm not here anymore.
And that's why you're a rare breed, bro. Because no Duke fan that I know, other than yourself, would be like, you know what? I hope North Carolina brings it home for the ACC. They'd be like, yo, F North Carolina, F them Tar Heels. I hope Kansas beat them by 80.
80?
Oh, man. Or some crazy ass number that ain't real, but they just want them to get the ass whooping of a century. Honestly.
The people I was at the bar with last night, Yeah, they were Duke fans and they were UNC fans, and they weren't about to root for the other one just because it's ACC.
Oh hell no. Nah, and even worse, some might even they probably be like, yo, I hope that bus break down their way back home. Like
Dang, they lost
they
the
would
game
some
and they
shit
got a
like that.
breakdown.
Bro. I mean,
Well, like I said, for me, I want to see Carolina. Well, there's some weaknesses. I hope they correct between now and tomorrow. I hope Baycott get his ankle worked on so he's somewhat effective. But I'm rooting for Carolina, man. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I don't know nothing about Kansas,
that's cool.
so it's all
Hey
cool.
man, and there's nothing wrong for you reading for the second place. Like I'm not a Kansas fan. I just know what Kansas got,
Yeah, I saw it last
and
night.
if Baco hurt,
They're in trouble.
I
yeah,
don't even
they
think it's about that. I just think UNC spent so much energy and so much concern. Worry. I'm like, I figured whoever won last night was going to lose in the national championship.
Well, we
Just
talked
because
about that last week.
it's just too much energy to expend in a game and then come back 2 days later and be like, all right, let's play for the national championship. That was their national championship last night.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the messed up part about it is, I would say that they even like, what's they did it. It was nicer because they did it twice.
Yeah.
Like they smacked Coach K at home, and then they literally smacked him at the probably. Let's be real. At that point in time in the Final Four, Coach K wanted a championship, and he smacked him. They smacked him. They didn't beat him bad, but they did enough where it was embarrassing. And when it's all said and done, Duke did it to themselves. When you don't hit free throws at the end of the game, you're gonna lose. That's just what it is. Duke did hit their free throws, and North Carolina did. And then they couldn't stop that Love kid who decided that in the tournament he wants to show off. So, but shout out to Kansas who handled Villanova like I thought they would. I perceived them to win a national championship, but I could be wrong. It won't be the first time, and it damn sure won't be the last. What about you, Mobile? What do you think? You think Kansas is taking it?
I mean, like I said, I figured whoever won last night was going to lose to Kansas.
Okay. And AG, you still rolling with UNC?
Yeah, but I'm not stupid. Kansas is amazing. I saw him last night because I told Lauren and I were, I don't know where we were, but anyway, I was telling her, I was like, this Villanova is the Villanova of 1985. They had a game plan. They needed to score. I mean, I'm being facetious right now, but they needed to score 20 points, and they knew if they did, they would beat Georgetown. It's the same tactic. And I told her if Kansas can score more than 20 or more than 50 points, they're going to get smacked. They won't be able to keep up. Kansas can score and defend, where the only thing Villanova does extremely well is defend. So if you can get over their defense and score points, they don't got nothing for you. And it played out last night. It was always what they said on ESPN this morning. It was always a tight 12-point lead. And so there was
that is what they said, and that was like a really good analogy.
That's
because
disrespectful as hell.
the game was tense the entire time, but it was always between a 7 to 12-point lead. It was never really a game. So it is what it is, man. Villanova couldn't be Villanova against Kansas. And that there showed me that they were going to win. The other thing that showed me that they were going to win, before UNC won last night, I told Lauren this too. Or actually, after we were on our way to church this morning, I told her, I was like, if Mark Williams only played 23 minutes, and North Carolina should have shellacked us, and they didn't. While he was out of the game, they should have beat the tar out of us, but they never did. In fact, we were leading in some of that time. They never really walked away from us the way they should have. And today, now that they won and they're going to see Kansas, I'm afraid for them, because it's like, number one, the emotion that you spent last night is going to hurt you if you can't get up emotionally on Monday. The second thing is, if arguably the most dominant player is sitting on a bench for more than half the game or almost half the game, and you can't beat them by 20, there's a problem, and they need to square it away. And if they don't, it's going to be bad. And that's not sour grapes. That's just facts. So I'm just letting you know.
I mean, I think the reality of it is, and people don't like, UNC fans won't like hearing it, the problem with UNC is they don't have an abundance of talent. They're really outplaying themselves right now, to be honest. So they're about to run into a team that has a lot of talent, and they better hope Kansas is off.
Well, I would say the only person that I feel like can give them any type of thought process on how to play Kansas is probably Brady Manick because he used to play for Oklahoma last year. So he knows about Kansas. And I mean, they'll do whatever, but I think the situation is going to be he was off on yesterday.
He didn't score until the second half.
Yeah, he didn't. They shut him down very well. And, he leads the NCAA tournament in scoring average. So it's like, or at least he did. He might not anymore, but he did, which was crazy, right? So I just feel like I agree with the fact whereas North Carolina may have exhausted their mental and their emotional reservoirs playing Duke. But yo, man, if you can't get up for the national championship game, then what you doing? Like,
I don't know if that's just that simple. I
It,
mean,
it ain't about
like
getting up.
MLB,
It's just about how much energy you would spend, man.
and it's how you view it. Like I said before, if you're looking at last night's game as Duke is in our way, then I think you'll be okay. But if you expend all of your emotional energy looking at this game like we got to beat Duke, no,
I hear you.
it's the same thing that I was afraid of in 1991 when Duke finally beat UNLV.
Mhm.
It was like emotionally, you got to see UNLV as just an obstacle. That can't be the goal. And sometimes, just human nature will put you in the wrong headspace. So again, like I said before, they better fix it, presumably, because it can be a problem if you're not there emotionally. So
Yeah. Well, one thing we do know, there's going to be a game on
Yep.
Monday night for the
That's
national
good.
championship. Whether it be good or whether it be a blowout, there's going to be a game. So, yeah, AG, how's your week, man?
It's good.
I mean, Mo B pretty much said it was. He just said it was a week, and that's all. He wouldn't go any deeper than that.
Well, it was good. I saw my dad.
Oh, he came down.
He had an impromptu visit to the 757.
What?
I didn't find out until Wednesday. He texted me. Look, he texted me talking about call me. The last time he gave me a text that succinct, my mom was dead.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, my first text back was like, dude, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And then he finally told me because my dad's like funny like that. He don't like to tell you. He likes to surprise people. Man, don't text me like that. Talking about call me. Was somebody dead?
So he was just
anyway,
in town for.
Yeah, he was like in and out. He came in. Lauren and I picked him up from the airport on Friday, and he's leaving tomorrow. So I got a chance to see my dad, man. It was pretty good.
Ah, how's he doing?
He's doing good. I mean, he's living his best life, bro, for real.
He just came to do some business stuff and roll out.
No, actually, I think it was a mixture between because today was the first time we've been back in the building in our church, and that was kind of a big deal. And then he wanted to see some people and all that, so kind of like condensed all in one weekend to do all those things. So, what man I know.
Well,
But
good
don't
stuff.
text me talking about call me. I literally because I remember my mom was supposed to have a heart operation. I thought there was no indication that it was going to be bad. And then I was at work and he's like, call me. And my first thought was like, either she's in a coma or she's dead. And sure enough, she was dead. So when he does that, it's like it's a trigger, man.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, you
man.
probably should tell him not to do that no more. Like, hey, future reference. that ain't the text to send.
That ain't the move, Pops. That ain't the move.
I know. Either I thought, like I said, man, I thought my stepmom died or my aunt died because she lives in Arizona. I didn't know what it was, but I was like, man. But anyway, it was all good.
Well, good. I'd say, tell him I said what's up, but I guess if you see him tomorrow, tell him I said what's up.
No, I'll just text him because I'm not gonna see him anymore.
What text him? Say what's up? How you doing?
I will let him know you said that.
Ah, man, I remember all the holidays, man. We play spades against each other.
Oh yeah.
Talk all that junk.
Wait a minute, I thought y'all were partners sometimes.
Nah,
or was he always partners with your mom?
He was always partners with mom.
Okay,
which means I had another want to beat them.
You see,
so, Hey, man. Yeah, look.
I enjoyed hearing y'all play spades. Y'all talk much noise.
Hey, it's what it is, man, because when it's all said and done, look, when you're on the spades table, it don't matter who you are when you're on the spades table.
It really does. Because
I
actually,
mean,
I heard Little Lay say some stuff one time. I was like, oh my
bro,
God, what does spades bring out in y'all?
if
That's
you
why
if
I
you
don't
sit
play spades, man.
if you sitting on the wrong side, I mean, trash talking is trash talking.
I mean,
And
it's
if you
like
can't
y'all ain't
handle
even
that,
family no more, man.
we not. For the time that we playing spades, we ain't family.
Ouch.
That's what it is, bro.
I
That's the
don't, I
great
don't
part.
get, I don't get how that card game invokes such visceral reactions out of pigmentation people.
Because, man,
Well, actually, it's not that. It's not just that. It's bid whist and dominoes also.
yeah, I don't do bid whist too much. I did learn how to play, but I can't do that. But spades, man, it's because honestly, I think a lot of it is because once you get emotionally invested, it's like you in there because you real quick it could be the highs of highs,
Lowest lows.
lowers of lows, and
Especially you
Lord,
run a Boston on somebody.
yeah, you run a boss on
Jeez.
somebody, like your respect is gone for the day. You might as well not come back to the table because that's instant jokes. Oh, you come back, go back to Boston. What's up? I mean, what are you gonna say?
Had a tea
You
party.
can't say nothing. You can't say spades is for the weak.
Black
You
Morticia
can't be
Adams.
you
Spades
can't
ain't
be
for the
my
weak. You can't
you
be my
can't.
partner if you can't count, focus, and know how to talk ish.
Oh man, most definitely.
Uh,
I mean, and that's the one thing, man. You could talk mad junk to older people
yeah.
and not have to worry about it once you get up off the table.
No, because it's not taking as disrespect. It's just part of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's absolutely right.
if you talking that joint, you lose. You got to hear about it.
See,
You
you,
got to
you
hear
see the
about it.
recurring theme here. You can't be soft like KB Aqua 25 said.
Yeah,
And that's true. You just can't, because I mean, somebody gonna say your mom will say some stuff to you that she would never say.
bro. That
Because I
man,
heard Shirley say some stuff sometimes. I'm like, dang, Aunt Shirley's like that.
and that's why I like playing against mama because I could talk that junk and not have to worry about it later.
Truth.
Because you know
I've seen it.
it's
I've
no
seen it.
personal.
Huh?
It's no feelings later about it. You get your ass smacked. I mean, then you could just be up, get on up out of here.
Yeah.
That's in the face. Get up out.
I mean, I wasn't even playing. Y'all hurt my feelings just listening. I'm like, oh my God, I
And I
can't do
mean, but at normal time, I'm never gonna tell my mama, all right, get up on out of here.
that. Wow.
What? Who are you talking to? Like, nah, man. That's like when I was working at camp when I was younger and I was on staff, and my mom was an adult volunteer leader.
Okay.
So everybody knew she was my mom because I ain't had no issues like that. But like I'd be like, so what's going on, Shirley? You know,
Shirley.
yeah, I used to say my first name, and then I realized, I mean, I can do that, but nah, what's up, mom? You know, because I didn't have no issues with everybody knowing that's my mama because my mama was cool. Yeah, everybody else's mama. Yeah. Oh, dang, you tell people to get off your table.
Not
Damn.
even her house.
What? See,
But
See.
you already know. You already know. You already know.
That you know what that means? That means she be smacking people a lot.
Yes.
But Lord knows.
I bet she the type of person that when they got that last book, they'll put the winning card on their head, on their forehead, and make it stick.
Nah, man. You know what I like to do? When I got the last three, when I know I got the last three, I just put them on the table. All right, y'all can roll.
Wow. That's cold.
Y'all can roll.
That's
And then
cold.
everybody's like, what? Yeah. I won. You up. Next. That's the disrespectful shit right there.
It
When
really
you
is.
win, next. Who the next sucker's getting on this table?
See, that's how you get Chris rocked.
Nah, not it's
Or Will
respect,
Smith,
baby.
as it
Respect.
were.
Ah, speaking of which, so let's go ahead and get into the question of the day. Wow, we're 20 minutes into this, so it's gonna be a little awesome.
A little bit.
So, question of the day. You have a chance to either, and I will preface this by saying you will survive with no problem. So it's not like you're gonna go die, nothing, for the most
Okay.
part, but you can survive. You can either A, go into space, B, inspect the depths of the oceans, or C, inspect the Bermuda Triangle. Let me repeat that one more time. And if you listened, feel free to chime in on the board. A, you have a chance to either A, go into space, B, inspect the depths of the oceans, or C, inspect the Bermuda Triangle. AG, what would you do?
Well, I'd rather go into space because me and water don't have a good relationship. So that eliminates two of them already. And the other thing about the Bermuda Triangle is if I inspect it and I know I'm coming back, so I'm really involved in trying to figure out what's up, and I find some stuff, do I really want to know what's up in there? I mean, based on, lore, some things and people have gone through there and not come back. They ain't dead.
But you would
There was
survive.
no, I understand that, but do I really want to know? You don't need to know everything, man. I mean, sometimes you just got to keep it pushing. It's all good. You don't need to know everything.
All right.
So, I'm going to space.
You're going to space where everybody else been. It's almost like, space is kind of old, man.
Well, it's not the depths of the ocean. Like I said, me and water don't get along.
Okay.
And so, being at the Bermuda Triangle is in the middle of the water. Just saying.
Now, that whole "what do we don't get along" thing. Now, is that some black stuff? Cause you black?
No, but it definitely fits in the stereotype for sure. I promise you that. But no, it's not a black thing. It's like I don't really know how to swim for real, and then I've seen too many water movies with sharks and man-eating things. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Well, most water movies are horrible to watch anyway. So I get that.
And then with the Bermuda Triangle, man, people just disappearing, man. I mean, just like that. The funny thing is, this wasn't even over the Bermuda Triangle. You remember that plane like 10 years ago that just like disappeared?
Yeah.
I'm like, have they even found anything from that?
I mean, I really don't even know.
Dude, that is like manifest level stuff, man. I'm like, how does the plane just freaking disappear, bro?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But you know what happened though, right?
Not really.
Well, I'm just letting you know they ain't find jack. Now I hope I'm wrong, but the first year those people were just missing for no reason. They was just gone.
Okay.
That's a problem, man. That's a problem. So I'm going to space.
All right.
The New Frontier, Star Trek. May the force be with you. All them things.
Black Morticia Adams said definitely the ocean. KB Yako 25, ocean for me too. Trying to go find them dinosaurs down there. All right, you can have that.
You know everything, y'all.
Sorry, Mo B. We're on the question of the day. So would you have a chance to either, and of course you survive with no problem, A, go into space, B, inspect the depths of the oceans, or C, go to the expected Bermuda Triangle. Which one would you rather do?
I'm gonna go to the ocean, man.
Why?
I mean, little known fact, man. I used to be like terrified of the ocean. So then I went on this quest like early in childhood to like investigate the ocean. So then like I actually wanted to be like a marine biologist because like I conquered my fear by trying to learn about it. So I just think it'd be like dope to go to the deepest part of the ocean that we can't actually explore just to see what's down there. Because something down there. We already know that there are creatures that can, they're types of fish that can live down there. Like, I just want to know what's down there. So, like the Bermuda Triangle thing, whatever. I don't care. That's some mysteries I don't need to know. Space,
See?
I mean, space sounds like some people with less pigmentation want to go explore that. Like, I want to know what's here.
Well, here is relative, man. What you trying to call me? What you trying to say about me, man? It's like the third time this happened. What you trying to say?
I'm just saying, like, the people who really, really try to explore space, it seems like are people who are trying to get away from us.
I mean, you ain't necessarily wrong.
Oh, man.
I can't say you're wrong on that. So
They're going to start redlining in Mars, man? Is that what that's all about?
First of all, as soon as they figure out how to populate, how we can live there, you damn right they're gonna redline it. You know how hard it's gonna be for a brother to get residence at Mars?
And that does feed into the Rise and Shine. That's so funny he said that.
All right. So of course, let's see. KB Yako said, "Does triangle be singing to a different place in the multiverse?" Okay. Black Morticia Adams once again. Since we can't die, look for all the treasures in the ocean. LOL. So
she got a good point there too.
Yeah,
I mean,
really
yeah. So I'll be that guy. Yeah, I'm trying to go to Bermuda Triangle, man, because you don't know what's there, and there might be some real dope ish there. Number one. Number
Or it
two,
might be some shit you just can never unsee.
well, I
Try
mean,
to
you know
tell him.
what?
Try to tell him.
Long as I can't, long as I'm not gonna die and stuff, I'll just have to
They're
take
worse
that.
face than death.
Yep, I'll just have to take that because I ain't trying to go into space because everybody trying to go into space. That's just too much for me, and I ain't trying to go in the water because I don't do water. So to me, it's the Bermuda Triangle, probably because we don't know what's there, and because we don't know what's there, I want to know what's there, and that's just what it is.
Well, apparently, Moco Cowboy is in agreement with me. Isn't the Bermuda Triangle a part of the ocean?
Well, see, here's the thing, Moco Cowboy.
But you
It
were
could,
really specific in the question by saying the depths of the ocean.
yes, yes, the depths of the ocean. Like I want to, because you don't know. Even though you have to go through the water in the Bermuda Triangle, we think to get there, you don't know what's on the other side, bro. It could be a whole new land. It could be a whole new world. You know, it could be Disney in real life over there. You don't know that. So I'm trying to find out what's going on. You know, it could be the greatest rave ever. I might be down with that. And of course, Keviako says, "Now, if you look at the map, there's a cutout where the triangle is supposed to be. No cap." So, hey, well, awesome. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Now let's get in a little crazy world. And what's more crazier in this world than black people slapping black people on national TV at an event that might not necessarily be for them? Everybody saw it. Will Smith got his sorry ass up out his chair and slapped Chris Rock, and then walked back like he was coming back from an explosion or something. Or if you me, if you saw Bad Boys 2, which everybody saw Bad Boys 2, when he was coming out the elevator with that purple suit on, he was like flexing his suit and stuff like that. That's the same thing he did when he walked away from Chris Rock, like he just did some shit. So everybody know what happened. I'm gonna start with AG. What's your thoughts, man?
A questionable woman getting a man in trouble, having him doing some dumb mess, but that man made choices. It was a calculated move because there's no way in the world he's going to do that to somebody his size. And at the end of the day, it's a punk move, and it's going to cost him. It's going to cost him for a long time. I hope it was worth it. I hope your love for your wife, which I don't think loves you, was worth it. I mean, she
Moby?
got a tight ball fade, but I'm good with that. If you made your bet, because see, you was laughing at the joke until you weren't. You weren't laughing before the joke. You were laughing at the joke, and then you weren't. We all know as men, married men especially, already know what's happened. You chose that. You chose to assault a dude in front of everybody. But really, see, I just want to say this again. The real reason why you slapped that man is because he's 5'5" and 130 pounds soaking wet. Because I promise you, if that would have been Dave Chappelle or D. Ray Davis, it wouldn't have gone down just that way. So
I need to correct you on one thing though.
what's that?
AG. It was not a ball fade. She had a one all over.
I understand that. I'm just saying.
I'm just making sure because I want everybody to know out there there's a difference between a ball fade and then a one all over. And she had a one all over, maybe a half all over. Who knows?
I'm
But
just saying.
Mo B, what are your thoughts on it, sir? As you just slug some of your happy drink. Man, you taking it to the head. Must be good.
Yeah, and all right. First of all, I'm glad that we were recording this or doing this kind of as it was happening last week. So we had a week to quote unquote decompress. Um my views on what happened have not changed since the initial incident occurred. But my thoughts on it are I realize that there are people who have the right to their opinions. And there's a whole bunch of people who are really, really, really trying to turn this into Will defending his woman thing, and I've seen the post. It's about time the black men defend black women, and I get that. I would like to take a moment to disrespectfully disagree with y'all's dumbass opinions because that shit didn't have nothing to do with a black man defending his woman. That had everything to do with a black man being checked by his woman on live TV and him feeling like I got to do some shit so these people stop clowning me and my woman don't look at me like that again. Like you came to the award show with the ancient one. Like that's who was sitting beside you. You knew that. And he made a GI Jane joke. Like he a GI Jane
Wait a
joke.
minute, man. The ancient one.
Yeah. I'm just saying if you know because apparently she had the ability to knock Will out of his own body and make him go do some dumb shit on live TV. So I'm assuming she's the ancient one.
Wow.
It was a Hollywood move because you don't smack no man and then turn around and walk away unless you know that dude can't do shit back to you. That's the only reason you do it. Like he smacked the only black dude there that probably cares more about his image with white people than him. And that's not a shade move. That's not me saying anything disrespectful. Is Chris Rock has hosted this show. Like he knows his job is to be professional. He ain't about to lose no favor amongst these people and you go slap the shit out of him. Because if you go slap a brother with nothing to lose or people who don't care that much about losing that set, yeah, man, it ain't gonna go down like that. And yeah, I mean, look, I made an ancient one joke because I just want to. If you are a celebrity and a comedian is on stage and they're joking on you, that's all it is. It's a joke. He didn't say, "Hey, Will, I see you showed up with your boyfriend," or "Hey, you showed up with that bald headed bitch." He ain't say nothing like that. Those are disrespectful things. Or if Will was like, Chris was like, "Hey, you know, any new male R&B singers, put their dick in your wife lately?" That's a disrespectful joke. Saying G.I. Jane can't wait to see it, if that is your line, so your wife can emasculate you, R&B singer can make a song and a music video supposedly about your wife, and all those things are cool. But a G.I. Jane joke is that's the shit you can't take. Fuck out of here, man. Will Smith is forever a bitch to me. And that makes me mad because I liked Will. I like him as a rapper, an actor. I've always been a fan of how he's carried himself. And all it took was this dude choosing the wrong woman to be the downfall of his image. And I mean, that's just where it is. I can't wait to hear Chris Rock joke about this shit later on because it's coming. I can't wait to hear Dave Chappelle joke about it because it's coming. Like, if you think this was going to help people not joke on your wife, I mean, maybe because now you the joke. So mission accomplished, Will.
So
we all know who has the dick in your house. It ain't you.
So first of all, once again, I need to correct you as well. It was not the Asian one he came in with. It was Morpheus. So
Nah,
I'm
you know what?
gonna disagree. I'm gonna disagree.
I'm telling you, man. She had on the thing and everything. See, the Asian one had a hoodie. She ain't had a hoodie. She had the joint like Morpheus be wearing.
Y'all cold.
I'm just
I'm just letting you know that Morpheus wasn't capable of looking at somebody and removing the manhood out of them like she just did.
Yeah,
Like she
the ancient one can do that. He can take your soul.
I mean, so all right. Before we get to the comments, because the comments are blowing up right now, which is awesome. I'll say this. You couldn't have talked about this. You couldn't waited and got to the back and talked to this man about how this joke affected you. Number one. Number two, of course, we've heard the whole what would Tupac could do. First of all, Tupac wouldn't have slapped him. If Tupac would have walked up and did anything, he would not have slapped him. He would have punched him. So right there, you know, when I hear comments the bitching you, I think of Will Smith because you slapped him. You slapped another man. Like who slaps another man? Black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian. Unless you go, good day, sir. I mean, who slaps another man? I don't know anybody who slaps.
about to challenge him to a duel.
Yeah, and then when you slap a dude, you slap him with your glove, not your hand. Like, and he would. Let's be real. He went way back. Like he was putting some power behind it. And then on top of that, Chris Rock just backed up 2-3 steps, looked at his jaw, was like, "Yo, we still here? What?" Which made your slap maybe a bigger bitch than you. So, look, all I'm gonna say to it is, I ain't appreciate. I mean, yeah, he was laughing. He looked at his wife. His wife was like, "I knew I should have fucking married Tupac." Oh hell no! I got to do something about this instead of punching him in the face, which is what. Look, if you're gonna go up there and you're gonna attack a man, I don't know any one-on-one fight where you slap somebody in the face. I don't get it. I don't fight, but I know I ain't gonna slap nobody. I'm not slapping a man. I'm gonna punch his ass. And he went back like he was about to give him the left hand of fellowship, and he slapped him. So like to me, and then on top of that, Chris Rock no sold that shit and made you look even more like a bitch. So I think I think everybody's saying pretty much. I mean, Will Smith, you a bitch. Sorry, you're in a horrible relationship. It ain't our fault. And I heard KB Yako say they just stopped. They just put Bad Boys 4 on hold. Now that's affecting me, man. What are you doing? Your life should not be affecting me.
Did you really want to see Bad Boys 4?
I love Bad Boys 3. I thought Bad Boys 3 was really good.
I realize that, but do you really want to see it though?
I do now.
Well,
I hope they replace Will, just because. I think he needs a new partner. So when it's all said and done, you trying to. I understand. Look, man, when you mess up money, mess up your money, but don't mess up my viewing pleasure. So, as far as I'm concerned, his wife's crazy. He's a bitch, and yeah, I mean Tony Rock has already said that you slap my brother. I know like 10 dudes who might come after you, but whatever. Hey, it's whatever. They've already started the joking process on Will Smith. Will he recover? Yes. But everything's coming from Overbrook Entertainment. Why? He owns that. Nobody else ain't doing nothing.
I mean,
So-
first of all, he's going to recover because of his crossover appeal. Like that's actually going to help him recover. Because in the black community, which is very divided on this issue, which is kind of ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
But there's a half of the second of the black community that basically just is like, you a goofy ass nigga. That's pretty much how Will Smith is viewed by half the community. Just like, yo, you're Will fucking Smith, man. You don't have to be in this abusive relationship, man.
Not at all. Not at all. And I'd like to say one more thing before we move on. Look. What are we teaching the kids? What are we teaching the kids out here? That if a dude says something wrong about a comedian who gets paid to be funny says something wrong about your wife, you can just get up at any comedy club and go assault them? No, you can't do that. And you quit. I mean, I guess you left the academy or whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares. I mean, you deserve what you get. And furthermore, you the dumbass, you still with that woman. So,
Dang, man, I ain't trying to do personal attacks about the man's relationship because I ain't on the inside. If it worked for them, it worked for them.
you right. You right. My bad. You with her.
Yeah, you chose that.
Yeah, that's on you. And you got to earn that. And if that's, hey, man, if that's how you show how you love her, just keep that shit away from me. That's all I got to say. And one more thing, all these people out here who putting these memes and stuff about when the black man came to him after he did this, healing. Nah, fuck that. That's not healing. That's stupidity. And what they should have said, and I know they didn't. One of them should have said, "I told you to leave that chick." But that's whatever. We know that didn't happen, and we're gonna move on. I will say this. I will put this. This might be the post of the show. Yep, Will reached back like he wanted somebody to power his hand. Weak ass. I mean, so he did look like, "Hi, you can," but it did happen. So he f that guy, man, f that guy, and now I'm not gonna watch Bel Air, his TV show, because the more I see it, it makes him look even more weak. So because God knows, I felt like they've over emasculated Carlton already. So I'm just kind of done with it. All right. Rise and shine. What we got, AG? What we got?
Well, we got redlining. And maybe you have heard the term before, maybe not. But Moby has said this many times. Policy is the key to keep people down. He didn't say it just like that way, but basically that's what he's saying. It's always true. So, redlining is a racial divisive tool to keep minorities, by and large, in a certain section of town due to policy-driven housing discrimination. So, like, if you're my age, maybe like 55, 56, or whatever, or younger, you spend a lot of time in the suburbs, or maybe all of your life in the suburbs. You don't really see housing discrimination the way people that are looking from the outside in. Because I know it's hard for me to see because I was in and I was like, well, I didn't really see the problem. My mom and dad had a job. They pulled their money together. They paid the mortgage. We stayed, whatever. It's not that simple. So, like, taking it back, here's the thing. In the South, the things that were going on here, Jim Crow and all these things that were happening or whatever it was, it was obvious. But in the North, it was really different because they didn't have the numbers as far as how many black people they had to try to keep down. The numbers just weren't there. So, by default, the North looks really good. And that's why black people made that pilgrimage almost to the North. So you have this influx of black people that have all of a sudden arrived in the North. So now the North has a black people problem. They got a brown people problem. They have a foreign born problem. So what do? They put policies in place to keep them at bay. So in 1934, the 1934 Housing Act, which was under the New Deal, and if you don't know what the New Deal is and who instantiated it, that would be Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So when the Depression was happening, he was putting in all these policies to get us back on our feet. This is one of the things that he did. So the National Housing Act in 1934, under that, the Homeowners Loan Corporation was established, and that's where we have the 30-year mortgage and the low interest rates that we still enjoy now. So that's the only reason why people can afford a house is because you don't have to come out your pocket, between $50 and $3 million or whatever your house costs. You can just put a 30-year mortgage on it, use the bank's money, pay that monthly mortgage bill, and you're good. Well, those people took cities and divided it up into sections. Those sections were color coded. So the green section was for the business people, like let's say your Elon Musk type people, your Bill Gates people. So they're in the green. After that, it was blue. So the people that worked for those people, the executives, white collar people, that's where they lived. The yellow section was where my dad, y'all's dad, I'm sure, blue collar people were working, but they were all white, so they were still considered good. However, they were labeled as declining areas, but still good. So then there was and their section was yellow. So then after that, it was red. Red line, and that's where red line comes from, because that section was always black, brown, and foreign born. So if you're a first generation immigrant, Puerto Rican, black, any of those, any kind of pigmentation, that's where you were. So in the paperwork that goes along with this, they designated those as high risk loans. So they felt like that these people were more inclined to default on a mortgage. Along with that, as whites moved to the suburbs, they were trying to go away, just like going to Mars, what we were saying just 10 minutes ago. We're going to Mars trying to escape. Well, they went to the suburbs to do the same thing. So as white people are moving to the suburbs to get away from black, brown, and foreign born, not only is the policy that I just told you instantiated already, so they already have an ethos already with this. Then they came up with what they call covenants, which legally allowed them to say, you are not allowed to sell to any of these minority groups, especially Negroes. Well, I'm using the terminology that they used back then. So you have created these sections of town that can't be anything else, because you have years and years and years and years of attitudes, and then you have years and years and years of policy, and things don't get changed. Because even though in 1968, after Martin Luther King was shot, they instantiated the Fair Housing Act, it doesn't work if it's not enforced. That's why people are always trying to sue, but really, black and brown don't really have money like that. So how are you really going to sue? You don't. So you end up living in the same place you still living, paying high rent, or if you do get a loan, the mortgages are high because the interest rates are higher. And then sometimes, rules don't change, and they can still keep you from buying a house where you can actually afford to live. So in closing, if you were to go to any of the 955 MLK boulevards or streets in this country and look on one side of it or the other, I want you to see if you can see a difference, because most of us aren't going to, investigate this. And I get that. I didn't until lately. So I get that. So if you don't want to Google what I just said, because it's a bigger story than what I'm telling you now, I don't have all day, and it would take all day. But like I said, it's 955 MLKs out there. Generally speaking, especially in your bigger cities, one side looks cool and the other side does not. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So that's the rise and shine.
Well, all right. I mean, AG be giving us this knowledge, man. We need to make sure that we take this and do something good with it.
Yo, I was trying, as you were saying, like the different zones, I was thinking of like sitcoms in my head to like match each zone. And when you got to like the yellow zone, like all I kept thinking about was Roseanne.
Yeah, exactly. That's
And
exactly.
the reason I make that distinction is because like everybody loves to point out like how Roseanne represented like the working class. They were working class poor white people. Did you ever see the house in Roseanne? Like,
that's a big ass house.
Do you know how Good Times would have loved that damn house?
Exactly.
JJ would have been dynamiting all over that motherfucker.
Wow.
He ain't wrong. I mean, and it plays out, and it plays out to the point to where it can't be untrue. Like you said, if you in like Cabrini Greens in Chicago, and you compare that to where the Connors were supposed to live in Wisconsin, they're night and day. White people's idea of poor is different from everybody else's. It just is. And it is no, and that sometimes it's nobody's fault. It's just the way things are presented to you. But to deny that they are that way is ridiculous. That's a good point. Because I thought the Connors had a pretty decent house.
Yeah, but people used to always talk about how, hey, Roseanne represents the lower class white people. And I'm like, man, them lower class white people look like they doing all right.
Yeah, they out here buying restaurants and stuff because their boss is gonna sell it.
Buying restaurants. Dan had motorcycles. He had his
Yeah.
own motorcycle shop. I'm like, yo, y'all seem like y'all doing all right to me.
Man, they had a backyard, dog. They had a backyard.
Well, I'm just saying, anytime James lost a job, it was a problem.
The kids had separate rooms, you know.
Exactly.
On good times, two of the boys were sleeping in the living room.
Pull out couch. Pull out bed. I never saw the Connors do anything with the couch other than sit on it, which is its function. I'm just letting you know, man. Every time something went down with the Connors, they bounced back by being entrepreneurs. James is out here trying to find a third job. There's a difference. There's a difference in presentation, and that presentation is like subconsciously letting us know what's what. So he's right. He's absolutely right about that.
Wow. All right. Good job. That's right. Blackmore teacher Adams laughing at the pull-out couch. I mean, there's a whole bunch of jokes that can happen with that. We just gonna keep it moving. All right. Now, the critically acclaimed Foreign Affairs has returned. Foreign Affairs has returned.
Can't wait for this one.
Mo B, let's go.
All right, man. You know, typically I go with like crazy story, and I almost went with a crazy story, but I decided not to. I decided to go with like the origin of my disdainment towards this territory that claims to be a part of our country. U.S. stops at Georgia. It just always will, as long as politicians like DeSantis represent any place. Like any place that somebody like him represents can't be a part of the country that I want to claim. That's just where my stance is on that. If you don't like it, fuck you. It's my opinion. It's just how I feel. Because anybody who signs a bill which has been nicknamed pretty much just "Don't Say Gay," that's literally what the nickname for the bill is in Florida. If anybody does not understand what DeSantis just signed, he basically just signed a bill that says in school, from kindergarten to third grade, nobody can say anything that can represent sexual orientation. Now you might go, well, they're kindergarten through third grade. Why would we be talking about sexual orientation? I'm glad you didn't really ask, because nobody's really talking to me. But the problem with that is it totally discriminates against people who might have same-sex parents, who might have a trans parent, because they're not allowed to say, oh, your mommy and your mommy, your daddy and your daddy. They're not allowed to say that, because that quote unquote taints them and teaches them. Now kids can just focus on learning. That's what the Republican argument is. Now kids can just focus on learning without having all the minutia of sexual orientation. First of all, if you think we're scarring kindergarten, first graders, and second graders by explaining to them that Joey over there has two dads at home, no, you are the weak ass bitch that can't deal with it. Joey don't care. Like the kids don't care about this type of stuff. And by hiding it from them or making it evil to talk about, all you're doing is creating more ignorant ass motherfuckers like you. Because if you just let kids be exposed to what's out there, it's not really an issue. So yeah, U.S. stops at Georgia because apparently first graders aren't equipped to deal with the idea of sexual preference. Now, I get it if you don't want your teachers to talk about sex to a kindergarten through third grader. Makes perfect sense. But to not acknowledge or be able to acknowledge, like if they have an older sibling or aunt or cousin who may be trans or homosexual, what do we how how is this part of our fucking country still? I Ruben, go ahead, man.
I just have a question. I mean, because like, so do the kids get in trouble if they say when they talk about their parents and yeah, my two daddies.
Basically, if the teacher acknowledges it, they can be sued by parents.
But if the kid has two daddies, what are they supposed to say?
Nothing.
So
Absolutely
you can't acknowledge that you have parents at all if you have a same sex parents.
Pretty much.
Then how are you gonna get your permission slip signed? I mean, I'm being honest. I'm being for real. How do you get a permission slip signed when you have?
I don't get the law.
Wow.
And they're being sued right now. Well, they're being sued right now by many groups right now because they say this is clearly discriminatory against the entire alphabet community.
But I guess,
and I say alphabet community. I know people don't like when I say that, but I only say alphabet community because I feel like letters get added all the time, and I just don't want to leave one out. So y'all know who I'm talking about.
That's true. That's real too. Don't you? Because I stop at AI and then I add plus. So just saying.
I guess it's because it sounds like the bill is saying, you can't talk about sexual orientation in schools. Well, I guess my question is, kindergarten through third grade, what type of sexual orientation would they be talking about anyway?
Well, don't make no mistake about it, man. It's like some of these young kids, because of being exposed through devices or TV or whatever it is, they hip to this. They already know what time it is.
No. I guess what I'm saying is, it sounds like the teachers can't teach in situations about that.
They can't.
But what I'm saying is, kindergarten through third grade, what part of their teaching has to do with sexual orientation?
It could be anything. The whole thing. Well, what I see in it is, it's innocuous until it's not. Like, we talk about stuff or whatever it is, and we're just talking. But if somebody came to us and said, you can't talk about fill in the blank, you would figure out how important fill in the blank is. And you would have to find ways around it to say the same thing, or maybe you couldn't say it at all. That's what the bill is saying to me. That's what I got from what Mo B said. Because like I said before, it's like, Johnny, did you get your permission slip signed? Yeah, my dad signed it. But then after you say that, can you say anything else?
But why would you? But I guess, why wouldn't you say, Johnny, did your parents sign your permission slip?
You might, but what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, I understand what you're saying, but I don't know. It just seems like
Ruben,
it seems like a law that's created for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So Ruben, here's an example of a conversation that can't happen. So let's say we're going to keep with this Johnny theme. Let's say Johnny has an uncle who just married another man. Johnny comes to school and says, yes, my uncle Joe just married now my uncle Tommy. He really can't have that conversation now. Period. Like, the teacher has to say, hey, we can't talk about that.
And the other thing too I see is very powerful is it's almost like if you start them young, you are already sewing fabric that's not cool.
That's exactly what I said. It's like the law is created to create more ignorant ass motherfuckers who somehow think that talking about sexual orientation. So for centuries, homosexuality has been around forever. It was not talked about, yet there were still homosexuals. So for people who feel like if we just don't talk about it, they'll never, like, we really have people out there that think people learn how to be gay. And apparently the way they learn how to be gay is somebody talked about it. Like, hey, don't talk about somebody being gay because they might mess around and catch it.
Well, it's almost like if you changed gay and for mental illness.
Well, for a long time ago,
here.
for a long time, it was considered one.
It's the same thing. If we don't talk about it, then it's not real.
So what was that show on HBO that lasted like 5 seasons, and it was in the past and dragons and all that shit?
I mean, Game of Thrones?
Yeah. So I guess Game of Thrones is not something that people look at the house, because I mean, if I'm correct,
I don't know if I'd want my kindergarten through 3rd grader watching Game of Thrones.
That's pretty hardcore. A lot of questions coming from that.
And I'm gonna sit here and tell you that
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that somebody hadn't. I'm just saying I don't think that would be recommended viewing for that age group.
Well, it's not, but don't think they ain't watching it.
Well, I'm just letting you know, man. When laws like this are signed, usually they're signed back channel, because you don't want people to know what you're doing. But generally speaking, laws like this that seem like it's like nothing, in 5 years blow up to be something. And now you have
it's a gateway law. That's
right.
It's a gateway law.
There you go. That was a phrase I was trying to figure out. I couldn't think of it. But 5 years from now, it's going to mean something, but it's too late, because the basis of everything that's built on top of it is legit. Yeah, and now you're done.
And this is what the quote that this bitch ass motherfucker DeSanto said. We will make sure parents can send their kids to school to get an education, not an indoctrination. So apparently, just the mere mention of, I don't know, anybody in a same-sex relationship, or I guess just anybody in a relationship in general, since it's just said sexual orientation in general, so we can't even talk about heterosexuality. So, I mean, can they not say husband and wife? I mean, because that's.
But remember, this is only for public schools, because if you go to a private Catholic school, they talk about things like this, but you pay for that.
if my private school wanted to put this, that's fine, because I have the option. I'm paying for that, so I can choose to do that or not do it. Public schools, no, not cool.
Well, and then the president of the Florida Education Association Union said the law is politically motivated because, these schools don't teach about these subjects and have state curriculum standards guiding classroom lessons. And that's why my first question was like,
I didn't know what kindergarten through 3rd grade curriculum was going to be like.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to talk about the gays today.
But I see some problems, like, and this is somebody that's taken a grain of truth and built something on it, which makes it a half truth. But
hello, Supreme Court.
Well, I mean, you can't be protesting. You can't. There are so many things that are harder to do for the LGBTQAI plus community, because in Florida you can't talk about it. Now, I know this is for grade schoolers. Kindergarten and grade school is 2 3rd grade. But what I'm saying is, if I'm a lawyer worth my salt, I can set precedent after precedent after precedent with this. And make it hard for said parents that can't be mentioned. Like this is Harry fucking Potter. I can give them a hard way to go.
It's a gateway bill. It will just, that's all it is. It's a gateway bill to try to lead to more things.
Yeah.
But it's too late. That's why they're suing now, because somebody on their side was smart enough to see this.
Well, and then what's going to happen is it's going to eventually go to the Supreme Court, and they're going to kill it. So it's just,
well,
you got more faith in that conservative Supreme Court than I do, sir.
Exactly.
Well, but I'll say this: the interesting part about our quote unquote conservative Supreme Court, they've followed the law pretty well so far. I don't feel like they've done anything so crass or so crazy where it's like, I can't believe y'all let this happen. They've been pretty much on the line. You may have one or two who vote for certain things, But as a whole, there's been a lot of stuff craziness they have stopped, and then it's like, I mean, yeah, man, you can't do that. So like,
Well, I mean, I
you
hope
know,
you're right. I hope you're right, but
because
yeah.
this is going
So
all the way up to the Supreme Court. You can go ahead and cash that in for 2023. You know, this is going that far.
and on a lighter note, because I don't want to just talk about foreign affairs, and I always sound like I'm being like super negative about the territory of Florida. Like, so, you know, we always have, you see those commercials where it's always white people advertising for it too, but they're always like giving the third world countries, for like for this many cents a day you can feed somebody. Like, so the great state of Kentucky decided, like the kids in Kentucky decided, hey man, these people in Florida, they live in Florida, so they ain't got shit to look forward to. So these kids, during the blizzard that they got in January, mailed the students in Florida a snowman because they knew kids in Florida had never seen a snowman. Like, I thought that was like super touching, man. Like, kids are awesome. So they mailed a snowman. They mailed the snowman, they wrapped it in aluminum foil, filled the packaging with ice, and mailed it. And the students in Florida actually got to unwrap a snowman. See, Florida, I don't hate you. Kentucky sent y'all some snow, man. And not the kind you sniff, which I know a lot of people in Florida probably assumed when I said snow, I was talking about that white powdery stuff. No, not the stuff you snort, just actual snow. It's cold, Kids like to play in it, in places that are part of our country, not Florida, because U.S. stops at Georgia. And that's it. That's all I got. I just didn't want it to be like me ragging on Florida about them being Florida.
Man, that's dumb as hell, man.
You can say it's dumb as hell, man, but I think it's kind of cute that kids in Kentucky was like, hey, Florida, these Florida kids have never seen snow. We got a shit ton of it right now. We're going to mail you some snow.
Whatever.
I got nothing.
I mean, it's just whatever, man. I mean, I'm gonna let you have that one, and I'm gonna turn the other cheek on that one because I'm sorry.
So wait a minute, you mean to tell me if you was a kid in Florida, you had never actually seen real snow, and you like a second grade kid, and you open up a box and there's a big ass real snowman, you wouldn't be kind of like, yo, that's cool?
Nah, I think it's a bombing or some shit. Nah, man, that's so dumb. Who paid for that?
Does it matter? Like, the kids wanted to send another kid a snowman, man. Damn, man.
No, I just won't. I can't. No, that's dumb as hell. Hey, man, but you know what? Like I said, I'm gonna let you have that. It's super sweet of kids. Whatever. Dumbass kid.
Man, you're a Scrooge, bro.
I mean,
I'm
what
not a
else? What
Scrooge,
else can
man.
they give Florida? Them kids in Kentucky was like, yo,
Some
we
intelligence.
might live in Kentucky, but I mean, damn, we don't live in Florida, so let's
Man,
give them a
we're
snowman.
smarter than you. We live in Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's what they should have sent a card saying, look, man, we smarter than you. We live in Kentucky.
Oh,
All
man.
bad. Class. It had a whole bunch of X's on it.
Bro, I don't believe you managed to find negativity in kids sending another kid a snowman.
I just
Like, that's that's next level hate, man.
man,
Like, you are the most diabolical hater this side of the Mississippi.
The force is strong in this one.
all right, we'll move on. Oh, I'm a Grinch Rube now? That's what I'm talking about. Whatever. I'm not going to sit here and take this.
You gotta have to. It's your show.
I guess I do, but that's some dumbass shit. Whatever.
You're like the minority. Like, look, nobody's saying it was smart. It's kids, man. They're kids.
Where's the adult in the room? Where's the adult in the room? That's all I'm saying. All right. Quick my five. Whew. Ah, my five this week. And once again, if you're listening, please join in. Write down what you feel like your my five is. 5 things you do to calm yourself down when you are highly agitated. Oh yeah. I just went through like 3 of them right there. So, 5 things that you do to calm yourself down when highly agitated. AG, what you got?
If I can walk away, walk away. Take a drive, take some time, think of a solution, or just talk it out.
All right. Moby.
Mel Rubin the Snowman. No, man. Okay. Talk to Ruben, because I mean Ruben's hatred is always gonna calm me down. No, man, seriously, man, because like you can make the most heartwarming story just just pure hatred for no damn reason, man. They're kids, man. They just want to send a damn snowman.
Where's the adult in the room? Continue.
The adult mailed it because the adult looked at the kids and was like, man, that's cute. These kids want to give to other kids. Like, bruh, that's some of your best hate work ever, man. I know we're on the my five, but honestly, dog, you hating on the kids like that, like honestly, that's like the equivalent of like walking up and smacking somebody's puppy, like for no damn reason.
Wow.
First
You
of
kicking
all,
dogs, Ruben?
I would never put my hand on a puppy's face. I might kick it, but I would put my hand in their face.
Oh, so
they
you
might
won't
bite
stab
that
them, but
shit.
you'll definitely break ribs, right?
I mean, I would never
Wow,
kick
bro.
puppies.
All
I
right,
just move out the way.
all right. I'll get to the my five. I'm
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
That was
God,
seriously.
you're so harsh. I'm not that horrible.
Read when I get agitated. Reading helps. If I have the ability to, take a long shower, because just being in a long shower just helps me clear my head. 3. This is gonna sound really, really super sensitive for me, but it's real. Talk to my wife. And the reason that helps me because I'm not gonna really get to talk that much. Like as soon as I start to get into what's bothering me, she gonna start talking, and then now we're solving her issue, and now because honestly, I feel better about solving other people's issues than my own. I think most people are like that, but I'm copping out.
She hit you with the question mark, dog.
I mean, look,
That's funny.
she thinks she agitates me, and really, it's just my peace. That's my peace. Like 4, have a conversation with my kids about anything, because listening to kids talk, and they're in the age now where they're really able to make sense because they're 10 and 11. They really can make sense, but you give them about 5 minutes of momentum and that shit will stop making sense after a while, and whatever was bothering you will just go away because
Oh my God.
have you ever had a conversation
He's
with a
not wrong,
10-year-old?
man.
Like
He's not wrong.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong.
after
I
a
just think
while,
it's
you'll
funny.
forget about whatever was bothering you because you're just
mean-
like, how did we get from where we started this conversation to where we are right now?
Yeah, I agree.
There
with
was no transition.
No. And I remember because the last woman I dated, she had a young child then. And I'm telling you, man, and the funny thing to me, I would laugh at myself because I spent time trying to decipher what I just heard, trying to make sense of it. So he's exactly right about that.
And my last thing is bowling. No matter how agitated I am, I like bowling will always calm me down because I go on autopilot for bowling. And it's something about the repetitive motion of bowling and not having to think about it and still be pretty decent at it. That calms me.
Got you. Awesome. Thank you. And of course, we all think Mail a Snowman was a cute idea. Yeah. Okay. Then of course here comes Moco Cowboy.
We don't all think it. Apparently,
Yeah.
apparently there's one diabolical hater that
my top five River hate moments. And
And
then
you
of course
see what Keviako said. Look,
Keviako
Morris
says
Chestnut,
1 through 5.
1 through 5.
Oh God, y'all are hilarious.
Woo, when he got that star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I lost it.
Oh, AG, I didn't tell you.
What's up?
His favorite person, Blair Underwood, is now doing commercials for Richard Bland College, and he's saying, just south of my hometown, Petersburg. So apparently,
What happened?
he's from
I thought it was
Petersburg
DC.
now.
He got paid.
Richard
paid
Bland
enough
College
money.
paid him to be in that commercial. So now he's like, "Hey, Petersburg looking all right to me now."
Yeah, nobody else ain't doing shit for him.
So everybody got a price.
Everybody's got a price.
Just like the $1 million man said, everybody's got a price. All right, so my 5. When I get frustrated, I become quiet. I can't deal with you right now. And like AG said, I walk out if I can. If I roll out. I just. Then if I can't roll out, I'll literally get on my phone and start playing whatever game is on my device and ignoring you, the world, and everybody else. Back when I was younger, I would put my sunglasses on and really not pay attention to the world. But as I grow older, I feel like that's become a obvious thought process. And when you get older, you can't be that obvious anymore. I clean. Not that I don't clean normally, but like if I'm really frustrated about something, I'll just start washing dishes or stuff like by hand, not the dishwasher. It's kind of weird. And then I learned around 2021 that I can hold a grudge like nobody's business. But I've done
Hold on. You didn't just learn that.
No, around 2021. Yeah, I did. Honestly. No, I'm so serious. I'm so serious. I've learned that I can hold a grudge like nobody's business. And that's when I learned that part of myself.
So were you the last to learn that about you?
Yeah, because I'm sure a lot of people
did. Nah, man. No, I wasn't like that when I was younger.
You sure about that?
Yeah, very sure about that.
No, because sometimes, look, man, I'm not trying to be funny. Sometimes it takes a little while for us to become self-aware. So when you were 2021, you became self-aware. But sometimes the people around us can see it already.
Hey, man, how long have you disliked Blair Underwood?
Probably since I read that dumbass article, which I don't know how many years ago. I don't know. I don't know what part of my life I was in at that point. Because
how long have you disliked like Morris Chestnut?
Well, I mean, let's see. Boys in Hood came out what 93.
So these were indicators that you could hold a grudge for a long time because you don't even know these people,
bro. But I was like 20 and I was like 20 in like 1992. It's a long story, but nah, man. I learned in my early 20s that I was not. I could get to a point in my anger and my frustration that I don't want nothing to do with you. I was never like that when I was younger. I just came into myself, I guess, then. So, whatever. Yeah, Moco Cowboy. I can hold a grudge. I've got a lot more control over it now, though. I'm not.
Your honorable mention should have been kill kids' dreams. That's what you do when you're agitated. Look, let me go kill some kid's dream.
I don't kill kids' dreams. I'm just not about that life of being like, you know what? Yeah, let's mail some water to somebody. No, just not about that. Bash kids for being cute. I mean, if you deserve it, it's what it is. So, all right, AG, what's on your mind, man?
Just something I was thinking about, but I just want to say this. Sometimes life is having to drop a deuce when you just showered. However, it's going to be okay. Just wipe and keep it moving. That's what I got. This was on my mind.
Wow.
Shit is on your mind today. All right.
Sometimes you.
I mean, for real, think about it though. Sometimes
that was a gym. That was a gym.
I'm just saying, you're in the shower clean and whatnot, and then right when you're drying yourself, it's like, oh, come on, man. But yo, it's gonna be okay. Just wipe and keep it moving.
Famous World has. Yep, AG is a poet. That's right. AG is a poet, and you ain't know it. All right, Moby, what's on your mind? Because that rabbit hole.
I love your faces. You look, it's priceless.
Who, Moby?
No, you.
What? I'm just.
Nah, man, you're not just anything.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. I can't do nothing with that.
Right.
I can't do nothing with that, man. What am I supposed to do with that? Hey,
But
sometimes
you know what?
you take
You
a shower,
think
you
about
clean,
it.
you gotta take a shit. I mean,
Hey,
I don't know what I can do with that. I don't know what I can do with that. I just don't, and that's why I just decided let's just move on.
But see, your face is not moving on.
I mean, it's what it is, man. It's just what it is.
Yo, you've been so distraught like this whole show, man. Like between kids sending snowmen and Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, like your face has just been all over the place, man.
I mean, you need to stop watching this, man, and hear my words, man. Hear my words. Just all right, Moby. What's on your mind? What's wrong with?
You just seem so irritated with everything, man.
I am not irritated at all.
I'm sorry, man.
It's okay.
Only thing that's on my mind, man, is how much my best friend hates kids, man. Like, how are you mad? I will never get over the fact that you just hated on the fact that these kids in Kentucky was trying to bring these third world country Florida kids some joy by sending them some snowmen. Like, how'd you ruin that Frozen moment for me, man? Like, when I put that story out there, I'm like, hey, man, this is gonna be my positive plug for Florida. Like, some people out here trying to help Florida out. And you basically was just like, man, F them kids. That was some dumbass shit. Why didn't that Kentucky teacher be like, what the fuck wrong with y'all? We ain't about to send no goddamn snow.
Oh God. I know more black more teacher. Just wash your hands. Just wash your hands. That's what I'm trying to do.
No, man, I ain't got nothing, man. Like, damn, that's some next level hate, man. Like, that is some of your finest hate performance right there, boy.
Whatever, man. Whatever. So you ain't got nothing?
Nothing, man. I got nothing.
Ooh. All right. So what's on my mind tonight? Is hey, congrats to the South Carolina Gamecocks, women Gamecocks.
Yeah.
I guess.
Dawn Staley. You used to have a crush on her.
Huh?
You used to have a crush on Dawn Staley. Congratulations.
What?
He used to have a crush on Dawn Staley, South Carolina's coach.
Me.
Oh. I was like, what's going on? Yeah, it's dope. They won a national championship. They beat Connecticut. I mean, good stuff. Appreciate you. Good job. Good season. They were number one at the beginning of the season, and they number one at the end of the season. So, congrats. Shout out to that dunk by that Stanford young lady in the women's tournament. That was good stuff. It was a lot of good women's basketball tournament games, and if anything, I would say like if the NCAA can't find a way to make money off the women's tournament or women's sports in the future, then they don't deserve no money because these ladies out here doing that work, and the least you can do is put them in a position where money can be made on their behalf. I don't know what more they have to do for, you to take them seriously. I just don't know. And if you don't know, then I can't effing help you. So, but it was a good women's basketball tournament. good women's basketball season. I probably watched more of it than I ever thought I ever would. So that's good. But once again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching and listening to the 5 Minute Warning. Whether you listen to it live, watch us live on Twitter, I keep saying Twitter, on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook, or you listen to the podcast when it's put out every Thursday or Friday, depending on what happens in the life. Definitely like and subscribe, and also rate us when you listen to us on a podcast. I would say that this is the first time I really said this. Listen to the podcast. Like us on social media and all that stuff. But I think it's time that for those of you who don't listen to the podcast currently, it's definitely worth it, because there are some times where there may be some behind the scenes, quote unquote, production meeting, additional things that we don't have time to talk about on the show, or we choose to talk about it a little differently than we talk about on the show. It's worth the listen. And, I would definitely say last episode 123 is one of them. Go back, take a listen to the episode as well. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, just tell somebody. Once again, like, subscribe, rate us, hit us up on the social media and all that beautiful stuff as you see below. Once again, thank you for being with us in the 5 Minute Warning. I'd like to thank once again AG and Mo B for being the partners in crime on this beautiful road of craziness and apparently Ruben's hate.
Hey man, you think he hate up here, man? You got to hear the behind the scenes. These boy, the hate being full effect. Like
so
everybody's
By the
fair
way-
game.
By the way, that's coming soon. I started work on that.
Everybody's fair game. Ruben hating on everybody: puppies, kittens, nuns, preachers.
That's called.
that is cool, because I'm not the only one hating on that show. So I'm just gonna put it out there like that.
But nobody hate like you though.
I mean,
Like,
apparently not.
On my best hate day, I can't hold a candle to your worst hate day.
Oh, yeah, crazy. I'm gonna look at these last things before I go. The cold never bothered Elsa, but the snowman bothers Ruben. Thanks, Boko Cowboy. I feel good about you.
Is Cody Rhodes any relation to Dusty?
That's his son.
That's the son.
Wow.
I'll talk about that in a second. Ruben's mind. F them kids. Look, nah, man. Ruben likes the kids. We appreciate children, but it is what it is on that. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes came back on WrestleMania last night. I thought it was pretty awesome, even though it was a worst kept secret ever. I just thought it was dope that they allowed him to use his own theme song and stuff, even though you could tell it wasn't mixed worth a damn. So hopefully they go back and get that remix so it sounds a lot better. It sounded like ass at the stadium compared to everything else that WWE does. So clearly they were probably at a 64 KBS instead of at a 128. Logan Paul, I thought that was hilarious. The Miz is a real heel. When he Skull he hit Logan Paul with his finisher after they had won a match. I thought that was actually super dope. Ruben Dre F from VA. Nah. Ruben F them minute section. What? I don't know what that is.
I think she just gave you a segment.
Oh.
Ruben F them minutes.
So what I have learned is it is much harder to prepare hate than it is for it just to roll off in the middle of things. Like, I can sit here and think about all the stuff I hated, but it's not going to be any good. However, if it comes out a little bit more organic,
his hate need to be fluid.
Fluid.
You can't tame that hate. We can't rein this hate in.
Oh my goodness.
Untrained hate.
But we appreciate everybody watching and listening today. Sorry it's a little bit over. But after the relationship situation, we came back with what we normally do, and we'll be better next week for it. Once again, thank everybody. Mo B, AG, follow us, listen to the podcast, all that beautiful stuff. We will be back with you next Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, just tell somebody. Good night. God bless. Peace, love, and soul.
Email us at 5minutewarning19@gmail.com. And also leave comments on Facebook and Twitch. Search 5 Minute Warning. Contact us on Twitter at AG_FMW Podcast, at Newsman25, at FMW 2019. Contact us on Instagram, Moby 5 Minute Warning, AG_5 Minute Warning, Newsman25. You can listen to the podcast at Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of